Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to TJ's Modeling Bench. This is the final episode for our barn find diorama build. I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. This was my first real diorama attempt, and it's pretty close to the vision I had in my head. I used a reference where I didn't copy that reference exactly. It was inspiration for what I eventually accomplished on mine. I hope y'all like it. I didn't do a whole lot of the finishing on video. I got busy getting it finalized that I just didn't record any of that. So what you're going to see is the final product. And we'll take a look at it up close, and I'm going to take it outside and get some photos for it in the end. So stick around for that. And this is going to go with me to the Acme Southern Regionals in Cartersville, Georgia, on the 26th of next month, October. Today's the 30th. So 26th of next month, which is 1, 2, 3, less than 4 weeks away now. So I hope a lot of you are there. I hope to meet a bunch of people up there. I really am looking forward to the whole event, seeing other people's work, meeting people, seeing some of the vendors that are up there. I've got a couple of things in mind that I want to try to find while I'm there. Not too much. I don't build a great big stash of kits like a lot of guys do. I'm just a little different that way, I guess. I got nothing wrong with that. I just know that I'm probably never going to build everything I want to build. So rather than spend the money on things that I won't ever get to touch, I try to buy just a few things that I'm pretty sure I can accomplish in my lifetime, God willing. We don't know when that time's going to be, but we hope that it's much further into the future than now. So, yeah, hopefully you guys like what you see here. And with that, let me get the camera turned around and we'll take some close-ups of it. All right? All right, there it is with all the detail stuff in place. I had to alter my vision for this a little bit. In my head, I had more room up here in this corner. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I knew what my dimensions were, but I don't know. I thought I'd have more room up here to put some stuff. So there's just a couple of things that I didn't add that I actually finished and put together. As far as the car, let's see if we can get a little bit closer here. All right, as far as the car goes, I will show you. So you'll see, let me get a pointer. Here we go. All right, you'll see the rims have a bit of a green tint to them, both of them. That's in keeping with my reference photo, some kind of an algae maybe, it's been sitting outside in the elements. So moisture has gotten in there. So it's all dulled down, of course. And then you can see the dirt all over the car, dirt dust. That got additionally on the windshield as well. And into the engine compartment because we have the hood off. And then, of course, the tarp that we made early in the process. And I used some paint on it to make it a little darker than it was originally. And then you can see here in this lower left corner, I made another tarp specifically for the hood that is sitting on a couple of sawhorses that I made. And then on top of that, we've got our radio and a milk crate with a dirty, wet shop rag in it. A couple of tools laying on top of that, things that we shouldn't do. Shouldn't put your tools on top of the hood. Anyway. And then, of course, we have Katie over here. She's calling her husband, boyfriend, dad, somebody, saying, "You will not believe what I just found at this estate sale. Oh, my God." And then other just clutter around the place, leaf blower, mower, weed eater, another toolbox on the ground, our Lincoln Electric welding machine, toolbox, And then on the back of the trailer, some paint cans, an empty coffee cup, some more shop rags, another tool and a crate and a gas can. And then in the shed on the back walls, you can see we've got a Coca-Cola sign here. We've got a license plate up on the wall. That's an Illinois plate. The car actually has a Michigan plate on it. Here's another Coca-Cola sign. And let me see if I can... well, I don't want to take this off the arm, but the signs, both of them are a little bit weathered. I did that with oil paints. Added some some rust streaking to it since they're, quote, tin signs. And then, all right, behind the hood on the ground back here, and you can't see it at the moment, so I'm going to have to take this out of the arm. Give me just a second here. Forgive me for the motion. We've got this engine block. And again, that was weathered with some oils. And I think it looks very much the part. We've got our oxygen cylinder there. Here's a better view of the things on top of the hood. The sawhorse, one of the two there. Just some other miscellaneous junk laying around. All right, let's get a little closer look on the... All right, so you can see all the dust gathered on it, the windshield. Inside the engine compartment doesn't look too bad, but it's dirty, dusty. All right. And I originally finished this car almost, showroom new. But to get the look I was after, we had to add all this dust and dirt to it. Oh, one thing I did add to the wheels were valve stems. And you can see more of that green staining and even running down the tire there. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. Okay, the shed. All right, I didn't mention this. All right, so here's our shed, and it's supported really on one end, so it's leaning, which is fine. That's kind of what we want. Want it to look a little decrepit, like it's falling apart. But I did this with magnets and little pieces of broken off X-Acto blade on the shed, on the roof part. So on the top of the posts are neodymium, is that correct? Magnets. So this whole roof comes off so that you can get a better view if you want it. In fact, there's our Coca-Cola sign with the weathering on it. This one's got a little bit, not quite as much. The license plate, I didn't really do anything to that except bend it a little bit. So, all right, there we go. All right, I've got it sitting on a turntable, not an electric one, so I got to do it by hand. It's a lazy Susan, really. But I'll show you around the diorama, so you'll see all the sides of it. And we went with a barn red on the outside, which is also distressed and weathered. That's just a barn red craft paint. Actually, it was cardinal red. But all the balsa wood was soaked in the India ink and isopropyl alcohol bath. And then after it was painted, I actually gave it another wash of that India ink bath, just to bring the red down a little bit, because it was a little bit too bright. You can see it's a little streaky, but I mean, I personally, that is exactly what you would expect to see, I think. All right, we've added some bushes and things. There's actually some glue still drying there, holding that little bushy dead vine to the ground. And all the balsa's been distressed. Well, I guess all of it's been distressed a little bit on the barn. Some heavier than others, and that was done with a wire brush before it even went into the bath. In fact, on a couple of spots here, I used a drill bit and drilled some holes kind of diagonally through it to represent knot holes. I don't know how well that turned out, but it is what it is, right? And then, I don't know, the where the roof meets the rest of the barn, I probably didn't design that all that well. I've got too much of a gap here, but I mean, oh well. It still works. And then the roof rafters, you know, there's obviously been a storm of some kind that damaged the roof, took half of it off, and that's what you're left with. All right, and then we'll come back down. And there we go. That's our scene. So that's going to bring this project to a close. It kind of pushed my limits a little bit. Like I said in the beginning, I don't usually do more than one model at a time, and this was truly multiple models at a time. There was the base itself, the shed that I had to make, the car trailer was scratch built, you know, and then building and detailing all these little extra pieces that went into it. Of course, that's all 3D printed, most of it. But still, you know, you still have to model it, paint it correctly, make it look the part. But I'm pleased. The final product is really what I had envisioned. There were some changes along the way to get it there, but yeah, I'm stoked. So like I said, this is going with me to Acme near the end of October. And then I think, of course, I'm enrolled in the USAC group build. So I've got 68 Dart. And right now my idea for that, I'm kind of leaning toward maybe a highway patrol, police pursuit kind of car. We'll see. If not that, then more along the lines of maybe, you know, a high school senior's first car that he's tinkering around with and, you know, making it kind of a street machine. So one of those two is going to play out for sure. So stick around for that. But I'm also going to take a little bit of a break from cars. I've got an airplane or two I want to build. So that's going to be in the near future. We'll be doing some airplane work. So, you know, if you're following me strictly for automobiles, I'm sorry, but I do a little bit of everything. I haven't really done any sci-fi. I haven't done Gundam. I haven't really done figures except for Miss Kate here in my diorama. But all of those could happen in the future. We'll just see what the future brings. But anyway, thank you for coming and watching and tuning in and commenting. This has been fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. Please, if you haven't, subscribe. Invite others to check it out. Comment. You know, let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you're thinking. You know, let's interact. Anyway, thank you to any new subscribers I've recently got. There have been a handful. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate all of you, every one of you. And prayers go out to all of those affected by Hurricane Helene in the southeast. Some areas saw utter destruction, and some of those areas weren't places where it was expected to be as bad as it is. And we got to help those people as much as we can. Yeah, keep them in your prayers. But y'all have a good week. Peace and love.